Yeah.
He'll line up more or less behind the guard.
Now
Jones,
he's a lead blocker.
Well, they came right at the fullback. Jones skips over one tackler and then brought down again. It's Ferguson.
That time he was the lead blocker. Denny Mackle was the lead blocker. Did a good job. Attacked the end, engaged the end, and cornerback came up, and the halfback came up, safety came up.
Mackle is the nephew of Darrell White, who is the Caldwell assistant football coach. And interestingly enough, as we are televising this game, Matt Lachlan is in Caldwell for the game between Caldwell and Milburn. So a big weekend for the White and Mackle families as they're on the doubleheader today. All right, 3rd and 7 coming up for the Ridgers. They go to Jones on the draw. Jones skips away from one tackler, heads towards the sideline, and he will have enough for the first down. Good open field tackle by Jeff Cole, but is a first down for the Ridgers on the draw. Jones a little slow getting up.
Well, he took a good hit there. Took a good hit right around the legs, but he's got good legs. He's a strong boy. He stays in shape. And I'll tell you, the nicest thing about that Jones boy is that he is a perfect gentleman. He's a real sportsman.
And he's a track man.
Yeah.
See, I always boost all the track people. I've been doing that. This is now 6 weeks in a row. 1st and 10. Here's Jones.
See the fullback slant left?
And this time he's wrapped up by James Skinner.
Hey, Frank, you gotta get the call, Frank. You called it the wrong way.
Verona defensively has improved each week as the season has gone by in terms of rushing yardage allowed. Opening week 150 yards, then down to 114, 79, 59, and last week just 48 rushing yards allowed against Whippany Park.
Coach is very happy with the way his team has progressed, and they sure have, you know. They've come a long way. With just a few, literally a few returning lettermen, why they've developed into a decent team.
Fumble, Verona football. Jones tried to spin through the line, and as he was spinning, he was hit. Actually, the ball was hit. It popped free, and now the Hillbillies will have the big opportunity in short field.
I understand Glen Ridge had that same problem against Mountain Lakes, and it was those 2 fumbles they had down around the Mountain Lakes 4 or 5 yard line that cost them the ball game. Now,
it's never good to turn over the ball anywhere, but no. Yes, they did turn it over twice when being close to score. As it turns out now, they've turned it over in a position where Verona will be close to scoring.
I wish we could see what was happening. Well, I see the ball, and I see Anico getting up, so it was Anico real quick up the middle, and he's gained, I guess about 5 yards at least. And down in here, a 5-yard gain is a big gain because you get 4 tries.
4-minute warning given to the benches. 4 minutes, again, now because of the problems in the press box, time being kept on the field, and the signal 4 minutes given to both benches. This Glen Ridge team defensively started out on fire, shutting out Kinnelon, Chatham, and Bernards, and then absorbing the 2 losses in the last 2 weeks against Mountain Lakes and Cedar Grove, but 3 straight shutouts to start the season for the Ridgers.
Well, the loss against Mountain Lakes was a heartbreaker. It was certainly a good victory for Mountain Lakes, and they're to be congratulated, but it was a devastating loss to Glen Ridge. They really felt like they should have won that ball game.
And they were leading with just over a minute to play on a Ben Saveni field goal, but then Mountain Lakes came right back, as they have so many times under Doug Wilkins. What a great program up at Mountain Lakes. 2nd, and we'll call it 4 yards. Anico going outside, fumbles, but the ball rolls out of bounds. So a good break for the Hillbillies. As a matter of fact, it will be close to a first down where it rolled out. Anico running outside, was hit and fumbled the ball.
Now, Anico didn't want to run outside that time. He wanted to run off tackle, but there was no room off tackle, so he kind of bounced to the outside wisely, and noticed just as soon as he got to the outside, his shoulders got square, and he headed for the goal line. As we indicated in the pregame, he's a north and south runner. He doesn't like to waste steps.
Both teams running well on the loose footing because of the bad rain. Pitch back to Anico, gets a good opening block from Ferguson, skips over the line, still moving his feet, and he's in.
What
and it's a 7-6 ball game.
What great determination.
And I'll tell you, he got a huge opening kick-out block from Keith Ferguson that cleared the inside path for him, and then he did it himself the last 6-7 yards.
Keith Ferguson, just about 150, 155 pounds. He's a junior. He's going to be back. He blocked for his senior friend, Dave Anico, and boy, I'll tell you, he took about 2 people in the end zone with him. He is a hard-nosed football player.
And, Bill, the Hillbillies are going to go for the lead, and Duke Mendez is going to call timeout to prevent that. So right away, Alex Kaplanovich decides to up the stakes a little bit. If we were in Atlantic City, we would use those terms because rather than go for the tie, still here in the second quarter, we just passed the 4-minute mark, he's decided to put the game, put a little excitement into the game, go for the early lead.
Well, there certainly isn't going to be too much scoring taking place today.
I was just about to ask you that.
This could be crucial, you know. This extra point could be crucial, and you know, really, no one likes to settle for a tie. Although I don't think either team is what might be considered a favorite. They're pretty even going into this ball game, but you know, you don't like to wind up in a tie. That's like kissing your sister.
Depends what your sister looks like.
Yeah.
If your sister Cindy Crawford, well,
Yeah.
we'll get into that later. But again, Verona has decided that they're going to go for the early lead here. And again, the weather is bad. The field is going to get worse. The weather report is for heavier rains. So maybe what the Coach Cap is thinking about is, hey, if we get a monsoon at halftime, we may be sitting between the 30s for the second half, and this could be the only and the last scoring opportunity of the game. Here they go. They trail by 1. Anico, of course, the fullback.
And all the second guessers now are looking.
Martino rolling right, looking to throw, still on the run. Puts it up for the end zone, incomplete. No flags, so Glen Ridge will hold on to their 1-point lead with approximately 3 minutes and change left in the first half. It is Glen Ridge 7, Verona 6.
You see, that's the difference between being a hero and being the other kind of person. You know, I won't mention it, but you know, you make your decision. You're paid to make the decision. You make the decision. You go for the win, and hey, it just doesn't happen. And you know, there's going to be somebody that's going to say, somebody in those stands are going to say, what a poor decision, what a stupid call. It wasn't a stupid call. He wanted to win the ball game. There's nobody on this field wants to win the ball game more than old Cap.
And of course, we could still end up with a 30 to 30 something game. But again, his reasoning was sound.
I think so.
His reasoning was sound. It is very possible that we have seen the last scoring of the day if the weather gets bad. Take your chance for the win at this point. But again, we still have plenty of football to go, but Glen Ridge has the 7-6 lead at this point. Jones is back to receive the kickoff, along with John Jackson.
I saw that film of Jones taking the opening kickoff against Chatham and going about 90 yards.
Well, he's done it twice. They kick it short. Makel with the reception at the 22. And Makel powers his way out to the 34, and that is where the Ridgers will start from.
Makel runs a lot more like Dave Anico, you know. He runs, he's kind of stumpy. He's built close to the ground, got a lot of courage, you know. He'll run right at you. He won't try to avoid you. He doesn't have blazing speed. He's got fair speed, but he'll run over you if you let him. And he'll hurt you if you let him, too.
The last time these two teams played here at Harrell Field 2 years ago in 1991 was the only time that Glen Ridge has defeated Verona in this Colonial Hills series. Makel, and he'll get some good yardage there. About 5 on the play. Now, these two schools were, while you were coaching, members of the same conference, the Suburban Conference, many years ago.
We played them once, Paul, during my tenure, our last year in the Suburban Conference. Fortunately, we won the league. We beat them that game down here. It was a great game. Oh, I can tell you a long story about that game.
2nd and 4. Jones will be close to a first down. That was back in 1957 and 1958. Glen Ridge joined the North Jersey Conference.
Right.
You were telling me a little bit about it before. A good grouping of